The following is a Candlepin Stars and Strikes rebroadcast featuring some of our most memorable programs. Hi everybody and welcome back to Candlepin Stars and Strikes, another Sunday here at the Winds. 2 full hours coming up, and of course it's championship week. First in mixed doubles in this hour, and we got a big crowd here and ready for this championship match.
People always like to hear my predictions. Well, I predict this is going to be the loudest match we've had in the last 3 weeks, and it should be a good one with Biron and Mike Sargent trying to knock off our current champs.
All right, let's talk about our bowlers. First of all, those current champs, they've won 2 matches in a row. And they've rolled first a 383 and then a 384 last week from Goffstown, New Hampshire, John Maffeo, and from Derry, New Hampshire, his partner, Louise Hamilton.
Okay, and John comes in averaging in the 125, and his roll-off score is 623, and Louise 116 average, and her roll-off score is 614.
And again, they're averaging just a shade under 130 a game as a team here on Stars and Strikes the last 2 weeks. So they'll be trying to come up from that number 3 spot and win 3 in a row and take it all. But of course, in order to do that, they're going to have to knock off a pretty formidable team. Our number 1 seeds from Bradford, Massachusetts, Mike Sargent, and his partner from Manchester, New Hampshire, Biron.
Okay, Mike comes in averaging 127, his roll-off score 694, and Biron 112 average and 588.
All right, that's the setup as far as the bowlers are concerned. 3 strings, that'll decide it. And of course, we've got a bonus ball contest worth $90 coming up at the end of the show. All of that and more coming up on Stars and Strikes Championship Week. Don't go away, we're coming right back. We are left with the number 1 seeded team, Mike Sargent and Biron, trying to defend that spot today against our number 3 seeded team, John Maffeo and Louise Hamilton. Championship week begins, 2 full hours here on the Winds. First on Stars and Strikes in mixed doubles competition, and John Maffeo will kick things off. He and his partner, Louise Hamilton, have bowled very well here the last 2 weeks.
And I have a feeling they need their best today.
And John starts off with a 10.
And a terrific 10 it was, 3-6-4-7. Moves over to lane 31.
Overall now, this is John's 15th appearance on Stars and Strikes.
You know, all the questions we've had raised throughout the years of the bowling, no one has ever asked, maybe there's not an answer, why we go from 32 to 31 instead of 31 to 32.
You know, I don't even remember myself. I'm sure there must have been.
Is there a reason?
I'm sure there must have been at one time.
Well, great try. The 5, the 6, and the 10. At the 5 and the 10.
A couple of 10s for John Maffeo, and that leads us to Mike Sargent.
Half Worcester right. 3 in the 9.
Mike was with us once last season in singles competition. He has also been with us in doubles before. Mixed doubles, that is. Starts with a 6 box. That'll probably be the last one of those you'll see from Mike Sargent today.
I'll tell you, if you see a few more, he'll probably break a few pins in half because he can throw the ball hard if he wants to. Mike, one of the premier Candlepin bowlers over the years.
Look out, there's a spare. Right back from the 6 box. The first ball on that box was not exactly where he wanted either, but he bounced back beautifully with the spare.
I moved over here. Went to chicken.
Now Louise Hamilton. Just a little short of the head pin.
4 horsemen left, 1, 2, 4, 10. Got a piece of wood behind the 4 and the 7.
Just like that.
So Louise makes her presence known, corralling the 4 horsemen for first mark of for their team. Spare in the 3rd.
At stake here in this match, $800 to the winners, $400 to the runners-up, and a half Worcester on the spare. Each bowler today will, of course, receive a plaque from the NNR Trophy Company of Winchendon. And maybe we'll even have a winner on the bonus ball contest later on. We'll see. Haven't had one for a while. $90 in the jackpot this week. $9. 41 through 4 for the team. And now, Vi Biron. Vi's been with us before in mixed doubles competition as well. A couple of years ago, she was paired with Roland Hood. They were the #1 seed in that series as well. They lost that match, a close match, by 3 pins to Kevin Davis and Carol Downey.
She dropped 7 on the spare. 4, 5, and 7 left. There goes the 4 pin.
$9, dead even after 3. Vi works for United Insurance Associates of New England.
She dropped that ball right on the foul line and caused it to skid to the left.
Vi and her husband Ron have 4 children: Denise, Doreen, Darlene, and Dean. Sticking with the D names. And there's the spare. Spare in the 4th. And it just collapsed. Wow, looked like it could have been better.
I've seen this a few times already. 4, 5, 7.
John Maffeo up there now does a lot of his bowling at the King Lanes in Manchester, that place that we hardly ever mention. We're mentioning for the 2nd week in a row now, and Vi Biron also does her bowling at King, and I think she brought the whole place with her. $9 for John.
That's 50 through 5. Just the lone spare with a 2 on it so far for the team. Light hit that time. Well, watch out, here they come. Just barely touched the head pin, but he got enough to scramble 8 of them, and then it took a little time for the final 2, the 2 and the 4 to go down. There's the 2 rocking, there's the 4 going with it.
And Mike Sargent. That was on a spare, left by Vi Biron. The 1-2, 7-10, and no.
Get the stick.
Right on it for 10.
And a lead of 8, but they're opposite a strike, as you can see.
Nine drop.
Almost a strike of his own. He wants that wood to turn a little bit.
It should.
It did.
Should be able to drive it right back. He stays toward the middle of it. He does. Spare in the 6th for the team of Sargent and Biron. Louise Hamilton from Derry is working on John Maffeo's strike.
Well, left it to the right, a little bit behind herself with her arm swing. But she's had a chance to redeem herself because she's working on that strike. Got that one out there.
Yes. Oh, will it go? Yes, it will.
Great
Spare on strike. Terrific shot. 3 marks for each team. Turn that one over. Went Brooklyn side. They're still falling.
And she works out of it for 7. The 1, the 2, and the 7 left. Now the wood is becoming a factor because it's going to deaden the head pin because it's directly behind it. See the reaction if she hits the head pin. It actually prevented it from moving toward the 7 pin altogether. So, or deflecting the ball.
$9, 96 through 8.
By Biron working on spare, as you can tell from the crowd behind us. Big Phil by there calling.
Up there,
I guess that constitutes big.
Chance at another, the 1-2. Opposite a spare in this 7th box. Just sliding by. $10, and the lead is just 1 for Maffeo and Hamilton.
Hey, they want some light. Come on.
Nice pocket hit that time. 5-7.
We saw John Maffeo make this last week. Or was it the week before? One of those weeks. He cut the 5 into the 7. The weeks kind of run together sometimes.
Give it a try.
Nice bit. Get the stick.
Quick reminder right here about Tri-State Megabucks, our presenting sponsor here on Stars and Strikes. Just imagine being rich. Give it a try. Tri-State Megabucks. Proud sponsors of Candlepin, Stars and Strikes. John Maffeo now, box 9. Everything even here in game 1. Each team 96 through 8.
Final 2 frames for John and his team, first game.
Ooh, slides by. And there it was.
106 through 9.
Also our participating sponsor for this series, our mixed doubles series on Stars and Strikes, Emin Horgan and his fine staff at Rockingham Toyota Dodge Nissan. Come to Salem and save. Rockingham Toyota Dodge Nissan in Salem, New Hampshire.
No break there. Gets himself to 5, 6, 9, 10. Just got to go after the triangle, inside or out, and have something come off the wall. Good try.
Most. Well, this will be the lowest string that John and Louise have had since they started here. It'll be a 115. And if Mike Sargent can put up any kind of a mark here in the last 2, may give his team the lead.
Mike has not hit the head pin, or at least not consistently with that first ball. Not quite like Mike.
Mike does a lot of his bowling down at the Pilgrim Lanes in Haverhill, Mass. He works at Ogden Martin. Mike and his wife Marianne have 3 children, Michael, Chris, and Kimberly. And Mike will step over now onto lane 31 for the final frame of this first game. And that time he is on the head pin, and very effectively, but look at the leave. How do you figure that?
7 and 9.
How do you figure that leave?
The farther this wood comes up, the better chance he has of making this shot. It's going to turn a little bit. I think the ball may fly. Oh no, he wanted to catch that front piece of wood, obviously.
Well, it'll be John Maffeo and Louise Hamilton in the lead after the first game by 115 to 114. 2 games to go. Championship week underway on Stars and Strikes. Don't go away. Vi Biron to begin game 2.
Not a bad break for missing the head pin. 1, 2, 10. Piece of wood behind and in front of the 10 pin. But she's thinking head pin with this one.
She's got the head pin, and she's got the spare.
Took a while, but it came across.
4 marks for the team.
Actually, it's the 3-pin that, 2-pin that stayed into play and came over and knocked the 10-pin down. Right back in the pocket.
Probably deserved better than that. 5, 9, 10.
Oh, it's pretty when it goes, man.
Come on, Wood.
Right on, here
Now,
it is.
if she pushes the 5-pin straight back, she's got a chance at making it with the angle of the wood. No, she's going to split them. It had to be right on, if not, if anything, to the left of the 5-pin, but you had to be on the 5-pin.
And it'll be an $8. And that brings us back around to Louise Hamilton from Derry, who does a lot of her bowling right here at Park Place Lanes.
Home court.
Yep. An interesting leave, the 2, 5, 8, and 10. With a piece of wood in between, although she's got to get the 2-pin first. Well, there's the 2-pin for the 10.
So the lead swings the other way by 6 pins, 7 in this game.
Right in the pocket, but a little thin.
Neither team has got much of a break on lane 31 when they seem to have put the ball right in the 1-2 or 1-3 pocket. The 5-pin plus the 7, the 8, the 9, and the 10, the back row. Now there's a couple pieces of wood.
A couple of ways to play it too, maybe. Louise is taking a long look at it.
Jeez. If the right piece was rolled back a little deeper, I would like it, but I think she's still going to play the right.
Let's see. No.
She had to go low, and if she went real low, she's allowed to go right around the 10-pin. A tough choice. With this one on the left, she has no chance almost to getting that 7-pin unless you cap it, but then, well, we'll never know. We could talk about that one for weeks.
It's a 9.
Time for a crash.
Mike Sargent now. Brooklyn hit. He's getting a nice mix here. He'll still be left for the 5, 9, 10.
The 5 and the 10 should go. The 9 could be the problem.
Oh, took it out.
Drove right straight through
You were right. The 9-pin, though, was the last one to kick out.
with the angle.
Big Bill, right here.
Luckily had a second piece stay in play, turn, and hit the 9-pin. So he gets the spare.
Boy, get away with it.
And this time, almost looks like Mike is walking on his approach, walking to the left, a little bit fading with his steps, and that'll cause you to throw the ball off to the right as well. And again, he starts in the middle of the lane, but when you see a sliding foot, it is quite a bit to the left of the center of the lane.
$9. So 49 through 4 for the team. And now John Maffeo. Coming this way and leaving the 1-2.
And let's take a look at the wood now. I think you're better off playing it than try to go by it.
Oh,
I was afraid because if he came too high on it, he would have missed the head pin, but matches a spare put up by the team of Sargent and Biron.
oh, Big Phil needs another pin to go.
Wow. Well, that's a makeable spare, though, I think. Well, that wood to the right might be a little far away from the 10-pin.
Again, though, lane 31 seeming to...
Really? I think if he comes high in the wood to the right, the ball could deflect into the 10, and then the would take... Well, he's going to be too high.
I think he lost that one. He kind of threw up his hands as soon as he let it go.
There's a lot of people saying you could play the front one there as well, but again, we'll never know about that one.
We'll take a break. We've still got a very close match here, almost halfway through. The team of Sargent and Biron leading by 3 overall. We'll take a little break. Don't go away. Vi Biron. Her team in the lead. Still a long way to go, though, and this match has been very close right from the start.
All right, show me one, Vi.
Oh, here we have the 4, 5, 7 again. I don't know. You gotta go after the 4, 7.
And a girl.
She's doing it. Ooh.
Okay, one more.
The reason I said you had to do that because I really didn't think neither piece of wood looked very good for making the spare.
Turns out to be a 9-box.
Leave one hanging for Mikey right here, bye. Come on. Big ball. What up?
This event, the mixed doubles event here on Stars and Strikes, stands alone, so it does not affect qualification for the Tournament of Champions, nor does it disqualify any of the bowlers from returning. So even the members of the winning team here today will be eligible to return on either show or both to try and get back into the Tournament of Champions at the end of the year.
Well,
7.
2 open frames, a 9 and a 7 for Louise Hamilton to work on, trailing by just 3 pins.
And Louise goes Brooklyn side this time, and she'll shoot at the triangle.
3, the 5, and the 6. And well, it's a tough spare anyways, the triangle for some reason, but she has a piece of wood in front. She doesn't want to go the 3, 5 side, I don't think, because that'll deflect the ball. She's on the right side.
Just like that. That's mark number 5 for the team. 5 for each team right now.
Because that's contradictory to everything I said. You got to shoot for the 3-pin. You're not shooting for one side or the other, Dan. You shoot for the 3-pin. You're hoping for the right side. Right back in the 1-2 pocket. And again, I think if the bowlers had their ways, Park Place lanes would be 35 lanes tomorrow. They would get rid of 31.
It seems that we've seen some great hits on 31, but just not much happening over there.
She's going to play to the left of the red line. Actually, as low as she can on the left of that wood. Wow. I think she just lost that one totally. She had to go down low and have the ball carry him off into the 7-pin. Hopefully the wood take the other 2. She's going to make up.
Come on, Michael.
And the lead swings back.
I was going to say she's going to make up some of the deficit. She can make up all of it and now lead by 7.
Mike Sargent right in the pocket. How did the 5-pin stay there?
She's a rocking and rolling, but she's staying.
Right in the face. Come back.
Watch out.
All right, grab the stick.
There
All right.
you go.
It's time.
Just like last time. Get them all.
We'll see what Mike can do on lane 31.
Doink.
Through the middle.
Well, at least we can explain that one because that was a little heavy. But those other hits,
Early bird action on
well,
this wood.
we'll get this pin flying around a little bit. Almost.
Not quite enough. Again, it's the 5-pin. And it's still there.
84 through 8. So again, team of Maffeo and Hamilton have 2 open lanes, 2 open frames to work on. Already leading by 7.
And John Maffeo leaves the 5-pin. So he'll take a shot at it.
He's going to have a little bit of help coming.
He may... Oh, it almost took it over.
I don't know how much help. Maybe just a little security blanket next to it. It's right on it.
Mark number 6 for the team. off the head pin that time, but
Maybe
look out.
maybe that's the key. That's the key on lane 31.
That is
Missed
the key.
the head pin. That's it. We've been playing this game all wrong. Everybody's been burying it in the pocket, the 1, 2, 1, 3, and getting weird leaves, and you got to miss the head pin on lane 31. Now you want to hit it.
Sure. That's
Two in a
the
row.
way there. That's the way to do it.
And the lead now blossoms to 17.
By Biron. Gets it in the pocket, and she will leave the 2 pin.
Okay, Vi, right in the face.
Oh, it's going to miss it far enough to catch it? No. A little farther to the left, she still would have made that. The wood would have kicked forward.
That's $10.
That's what you want to do. The second ball, 94. She really wants to mark. Otherwise, the lead is going to be in the 20s and possibly higher. They have yet to mark the 4th frame through the 9th in this game.
Get away with it. Hang around, Wood.
1, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Maybe we should just mention the ones that are down. Well, opportune chance for the team of Maffeo and Hamilton working on a mark in the 8th, and they'll be opposite 2 more open frames.
$104 for 218.
The computer, Dan. One in the computer.
Having a technical problem here with the computer. We should have it back in just a second, so we'll take a look at the scoreboard when we get a chance. And Louise Hamilton, after
Almost threw that one sidearm if you could pick it up, and that's usually then I haven't got that good pendulum swing. They come back around in front of themselves, and it's got to come back the same way.
just a 2 on the fill and a 6 in the box. So the lead is 15 right now.
Actually lost a few in count there, even with the benefit of a spare. Total is 18 for those 2 frames. The 8th and 9th were Sargent and Biron were 19 without a mark.
The 1, the 3, and the 7. In this whole second game, there's been only 1 mark on lane 31, and
again-
it'll stay that way.
And again, really late with the arm swing.
And that'll be an 8 for a 116, a 2-string total 231. So this thing is going to come right down to the last game. The difference is just 13 with Maffeo and Hamilton in the lead, and we'll be back for the final game in a minute. John Maffeo will lead it off for the team of Maffeo and Hamilton here in game 3. They're in the lead, Dan, but the lead could have been much larger. Had an opportunity
Really,
to make it much larger.
those last 3 frames, Mike Sargent and Vi Biron had to be very pleased at the outcome because they were actually down by 17 and they were working on a spare. And when it was all said and done, they were only down by 13. And there you see it, 231, 218.
Big pocket hit, John Maffeo.
Not much doubt about that one in the 1-3 pocket. And if we'd have a federal investigation if he didn't get an 8 or 9 pin or a strike that time. That ball was dead in the 1-3 pocket. Mike Sargent up for his first 2 frames of this game number 3.
Hang around, Wood. Come up, Wood. Come up.
Yeah, looking at the 3 pin, the 4 and the 7. He's just thinking 3 pin. I've got to have the 3 pin.
Didn't snap over for him. Gains a pin there, but now he's opposite the strike.
Gotta match him.
You heard it from the crowd. Gotta try to match him.
Get away with it.
Four horsemen left.
Clear it out. Clear it out.
Run it down, Mikey. Run it down.
Come on, reach out.
Looks pretty good. No on the 7-pin.
Very good.
10. Now, an important strike fill here for Louise Hamilton.
Sure is. Leading by a dozen. Right now that's 2 marks. She could, a big fill, could push it to a 3-mark lead. Of course, a double strike. Well, she's got an 8-pin drop. The 2 and the 4 left. Piece of wood in between, so she's just thinking 2-pin.
Looks pretty good. Right on it. Spare on strike.
Clutch mark right there. The lead goes to 22, but more important, she still has a string of marks going. 2 in a row now.
Crosses over and gets another 8 drop.
And look at this. And a little murmur from the crowd like, oh, like she did something wrong. They were just referring to the piece of wood that's nestled right next to the 1 and the 3 pins. Oh, she's late with it again. Sometimes the ones that you think are automatic aren't quite that way. The difference in throwing that ball, she really lofted the ball out a little further in the lane, a little more authority. She can almost kind of steer the ball. And that happens to a lot of bowlers when they think they have an easy spare in front of them. Just throw the ball the same speed and everything. Don't change a thing.
Vi Biron now. Brooklyn hit.
Come on, boy. Come on.
Not much to show for it.
Wants to be almost flush on the 3-pin. Got a shot.
Right there. Come on, come on.
No.
And then there were 7. Of course, I'm referring to frames. Down by 31.
Leave one here, Vi. Leave one here. Come on.
A little lighter in the pocket that time and a spare leave, the 2-4.
Nope, too far left. So some golden opportunities slide by. Team of Sargent and Biron.
We'll take a break. 6 boxes to go to decide the championship. Maffeo and Hamilton in the lead. We'll return. John Maffeo as his team leading by 31. Big first ball. And let's see what's left here. The 5
Ooh.
and the 8, and the wood turned.
Yeah, can the wood still cover the 8-pin? Well, if he goes far right, he should just go right straight back.
On the spare. Watch out, could be all of them. No, the 8-pin will stay up. Looks like it may be partly over the back edge. It moved.
Somebody said I'd play the wood on this shot. Well, that is a smart bowler in the crowd. Yeah.
A risk taker. Well, Mike Sargent and Vi Biron just haven't been able to get anything started. They haven't even been able to put 2 marks together yet. That's a heck of an effort right there.
45 at the halfway point. 43 pin advantage and threatening to go higher.
There's a nice pocket hit, leaving the 7.
Seven pin all alone. Well, it was all alone. Still got a clean shot.
Yes.
There's the veteran Candlepin bowler that I know. He gives a good smile. Mike just turned and said, I knew Danny would say I was going to go for the pin, but I know how old Mike is, and I'd do the same thing. So.
Oh, big ball by Louise Hamilton. That's strike on spare.
And that's going to put a lot of pressure and almost, well, I'd say it's going to ice the match, but it's certainly on its way. They bowl well together.
Just missing the head pin that time.
Four horsemen to the right. 1, 2, 1, 3, 6, 10. This is a fill on a strike, trying to keep this string alive. They have 2 spears and a strike so far.
Louise finishes her work for the day with an 8-box. 121 through 8 for the team.
This is they're on the way to their best game so far. It'll be the last game of the ladder.
Nope. Vi Biron didn't get any breaks there. That was on a spare fill.
5, 9, 10. Just trying to fit the ball between the 5 pin and the wood. Of course, clip the 5 pin.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Good effort.
That 5 pin went right to the sidewall in front of the 10 pin, came back in front of the 10, never knocked it down.
The 10 pin remains, and Vi is waiting for that wood. And there it is for the 10 box. And now Vi Biron for her final frame.
Right here.
Makeable spare with the wood behind it. 3, 6, and
Hey.
And the 7 pin is still there. That'll be a 9 box.
and we'll make a correction on the score. Back in the 4th frame, I believe it was a 10, and I have a 9.
Right. So it's 83 right now for Sargent and Biron through 8. 82 rather. 82 through 8. And a strike for John Maffeo in the 9th. They're just piling it on right now. This was a close match coming into this 3rd game.
It really was. Looking for the double. Not on the 31. Not today anyway. 7, 8, 9.
With plenty of wood. Did you play the wood on this shot?
I would. But not there.
This pin for 150.
Never
And there it
went
is. 381. Well, that's pretty consistent. 383, 384, 381.
Wow, it's consistent. All 380s all day. 383,
Mike Sargent final two, and that's typical of what's been going on for the team of Sargent and Biron. That'll be an $8.
Might as well go 11 anyways.
Of course, John Maffeo and Louise Hamilton have cinched the championship here in the $800 first prize. Mike Sargent and Vi Biron will share the $400 second prize.
Huh?
It's not to be. 318 for the team of Sargent and Biron. Make it a 381 for Maffeo and Hamilton. They take the championship, winning 3 matches in a row here on Stars and Strikes in our mixed doubles series. We'll be back to talk to the bowlers and try to give away a little more money in our bonus ball contest. Don't go away. And welcome back to Championship Week here on Candlepin, Stars and Strikes. And keep the applause going for Vi Biron and Mike Sargent. Come on up, and we've got a couple of checks for you here. Our number 1 seeded team, I know you're kind of sheepishly accept these checks, but we really want you to turn and face the camera so that everybody will look at you. It just didn't happen for you today, but obviously this team you were bowling against was hot, and they did a terrific job.
John's a very good bowler, and so is Louise. They bowled good, and they deserve it.
Well, and we know you two are as well, but some days they go and sometimes not.
And this was when they didn't.
Well, again, second place money for the two of you, splitting $400, and we hope to see you both again very soon. Congratulations.
Try again.
All right, Vi Biron and Mike Sargent, thanks very much. And we're going to get to the bonus ball contest here in a second, but we have a special new feature today. Come on in, Michelle. I have a special assistant today for the bonus ball contest. This is Michelle Maffeo, John's daughter. And what school did you say you go to again?
Mountain View Middle School.
Okay, and you're going into high school next week, right?
Right.
Next year, right?
Right.
Okay, now this is a big moment because your dad wants a new set of bowling balls, okay? So we're going to try and win him a new set of bowling balls, all right?
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Louise Hamilton to roll the bonus ball here. This is a big moment. $90 in the jackpot. And it's a 7. All right, Michelle, go to it. Reach in there. Draw out that card. If it's a 7, you've won your dad a set of bowling balls. No pressure at all. Oh, my goodness. Jeanette Langlois of Lowell predicted a strike. They're really putting the pressure on you. Really putting the pressure on you. Thanks very much, Michelle. We appreciate it. And sorry, Dad. No new set of bowling balls. But for Jeanette, we'll be sending her a consolation gift. And for the two of you, why don't you slide right in here, Louise, so we can get you on camera. And John, too, congratulations. The championship prize money, the $800 prize money. And, well, very consistent all 3 weeks for both of you.
I'm just glad it's over with.
Well, you bowled very well, really. Both of you did. Very consistent. It seemed like neither one of you really had a bad stretch at all. You were both bowling very well throughout, and that's what you need.
Well, Louise is a good partner. And one thing that was exposed here is the only time I can win a championship is with a woman. Need a woman to carry me. All there is to it.
Well, that's the secret behind every great man, as the saying goes, you know. Well, congratulations to both of you, the first prize. And, of course, this does not make you ineligible for the rest of the year, so perhaps we'll see you both again before the year is over. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, the $800 first prize. This applause for you, and we'll keep the applause going for Dan Murphy as we bring Dan back in here. And, well, you almost got replaced by Michelle. She did a terrific job, but...
Well, she did a little better than you did, but it's all in the wrist. You guys, I'll teach you guys after the show.
Well, thanks to Michelle again, and congratulations once again to John Maffeo and Louise Hamilton, winning 3 in a row. It's tougher to do, even in doubles, really, than it is in singles, because everything has to be working, and they really worked well together as a team.
Absolutely. Very consistent, all in the 380s, and, well, they were the better team today, too, and that's why they're on top.
All right, Championship Week continues. Hang on in a few minutes. We'll be back with Stars and Strikes doubles for a men's doubles championship. Until then, for Dan Murphy and the whole TV50 crew, Doug Brown, so long from Park Place Lanes.